IT solutions and Mid-Same. And today I'm leaning heavily on Mid-Same. It's a lovely Tuesday afternoon, June 9th here in Central North Carolina. And today I'm going to talk AI. So everybody wants AI, but almost nobody prepares for AI kind of thing, right? AI is the new hotness, the new sexy in IT tech circles, right? Sure, lots of you who may or may not use AI have heard of AI, right? But the startling statistic is, I've seen numbers 80% to 95% of AI implementations fail, right? And so we're going to talk over why that happens. You can do some onesie-twosie small projects, right? Which is what we've done successfully. Some of our bigger projects, they take time. Vibe coding is a wonderful thing, but done right, vibe coding takes a while. It takes hundreds of hours, which is better than tens of thousands of hours, right? And I don't have to have a lot of expertise in coding to get it done. Right. So those are the advantages of AI. But, the quick hits for us have been, things that take 1 or 2 hours that save us maybe 5 or 10 minutes a week. Right. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you figure it out in 3 months, I'm saving, 5 to 10 hours a week, which is at my age. Time is the one thing I can't get back. Actually, it's the same for everybody. But when you get to my age, you start remembering that fact and that you're willing to buy up time with money, right? So that's the one thing you've got to make more of so you can buy your time back. So the reason they failed is because of not following the 4 Ps, as we like to call it. And you've got to get at least 2 of these, preferably 3, and really 4, but that's beside the point. The 4th one's a little flexible. You have to get those right if you expect your implementation to succeed, right? And so the first one I want to talk about is going to be, everybody's getting AI. Everybody wants AI. Our competitors are using AI. Can AI automate this thing? But what it comes down to is the 4 Ps. I talked about them before, but let me go them real quick. It's process, it's people, it's plan, it's platform. And so you need to get those right to have a successful implementation, right? So the big important one is going to be process. That's one of the biggest things that you've got to worry about. And it's where a lot of businesses make their mistakes, right? They buy a shiny AI tool and then they think, what can we do with it, right? They put the cart before the horse. And I'm guilty of that. I have shiny object syndrome, squirrel syndrome, whatever you'd like to call it, a little ADD action going on here in my brain. But you should identify processes that already exist. Examples of things that you might want to throw AI at are going to be, customer service, scheduling, proposal creation to quoting, right? Invoice processing, which is what we're currently working on. That's another story for another day. Anyhow, employee onboarding, client onboarding, and marketing creation, content creation, right? And that's another one that is pretty big for a lot of people, right? So the question isn't how do I use AI? The question is what processes are wasting time, creating bottlenecks or causing frustration, right? And using AI to fix these may be, you got to climb the hill with AI. With some frustration, maybe getting it done to eliminate it completely, right? So I'm never going to tell you it's perfect. It's always going to work. First try, it's great, right? So, but here's the thing: AI is an accelerator, right? So, if you are going down the wrong road, you're going to go there faster. If you're going down the right road, then you're going to get there sooner. So that's how that works out in general. So, you need to make sure that you're automating a process that works. Very important. It's a process that works. Or you need to fix your process first, right? So, and some people question why we charge for these services. The processes alone can take hours, right? And it's something as you as a small business owner really need to take into account. What processes can we automate? And then do we have them documented, right? Because AI and AI can help you with the documentation and the process creation, right? But you have to have a process. And as you're rolling it out, you want to test the process in the AI, right? And make sure it's doing what you expect it to do. Don't just build it and think that it's just going to solve all your problems out of the gate, right? Garbage in, garbage out. It's an old coder's credo, whatever. The second P is people, right? That one gets ignored a good bit because a lot of people think that AI is a technology project. And again, it involves technology, but we started with processes, right? And processes aren't naturally are not technology, right? It's how you do things. So it's a people project, right? You want to get buy-in from your team about what processes you think need to get done, right? Because the employees are the ones who have to use it every day. At the end of the day, if they don't understand it, if they don't trust it, and if they're not trained, they're not going to use it, right? They'll get around it. They'll do it the old-fashioned way, the way they've always done it, because it gets the job done. So the project will fail. And again, the 80 to 95% failure rate is part of that. Is not just they had a process that was poorly defined, but it was they didn't get buy-in from the people, right? And as a CEO and business owner myself, I have to make sure my employees understand that AI is coming. It's not something far-fetched in the future. It's here now, and we're going to leverage it to improve our business, right? Or improve the business. When it comes to us, I always start our staff meetings out that customer service is our number one deliverable, and it is. And so everything that I aim to improve at first is going to be the customer experience, right? It's going to make it better for them, make it easier for us to deliver better outcomes. So that's us. Maybe you're different, but again, that's part of the process, right? So an example for people not buying stuff in or wasted technologies, right? So how many of you have a CRM, a customer relationship management, right? It's the Rolodex of the 21st century. If you know what a Rolodex is, leave a comment. If you don't know what a Rolodex is, go Google it. I used to have one. I'm that old. So the same thing kind of applies with the CRM, right? If you just put it in place and no one gets any training, there aren't any guidelines or expectations or accountability is a huge one, then of course nobody's going to use the damn thing, right? And so you're just paying money, good money, month after month to have a CRM. That's not helping your company at all. So AI is very similar to that. You don't want to be putting something in place that people aren't going to use. Third is the plan, right? And that's where leadership leads, right? That's where they come in. Too many companies deploy AI without defining success. So that's where smart priorities come into place, right? What is it? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. SMART. Yeah, that's it. So you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing with this AI project, right? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to reduce your labor costs? Are you trying to improve customer response times, like we are? Are you trying to create more proposals, get more quotes out the door? Are you looking to increase revenue? Are you looking to increase your marketing, right? Are you looking to reduce mistakes? We're also looking to use that too. So if you can't define success, you'll never know if the project worked or not, right? So again, that goes back to an old principle, SMART, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. I don't know why the A is killing me today. It is. Again, I think I'm getting old. Anyway, so, a good example is we want to reduce proposal creation time from 3 hours to 30 minutes. That sounds like a great target, right? But it's a very measurable target, right? If proposals are taking us on average 3 hours to create every one, we measure after the implementation. Is it down to 30 minutes? Is it 1 hour? Can we improve the process even further, right? So that's a business thing, right? That's part of what goes into this plan, is to make sure that you know what success looks like, right? That should be set before you even begin anything else, right? Is what success looks like. And by the way, don't try to put AI everywhere all at once, right? Unless you got a big enough team to be able to do it, right? work on things. It's the 800-pound elephant, right? You eat it one bite at a time. So you do one project at a time. And that's part of your process and planning, right? Is where do we have the most friction? Where can we save the most time? Where can we get the quickest ROI or return on our investment in both time and money, right? So the last thing for the P's is platform, and it's last for a reason. Lots of people start there, right? It's what everybody wants to talk about first. Should we use ChatGPT? Should we use Claude? Should we use Gemini? Should we use Copilot from Microsoft? Should we use something else? Hermes OpenClaw, right? The truth is the platform is important, but it's, again, fourth in my list for a reason, right? It's kind of deciding that you want a new conveyance, a new vehicle, and you go out and buy yourself a brand new, Ford F-250, F-350 dually twin cab, long bed. It's an awesome truck. I'm actually looking to get one soon. But I also have a farm. So I have a reason to get it, right? If you are just using it to go get groceries or it's daily hauler for your kids to school, probably not a great option, right? It's big, it's expensive, it eats fuel like it's going out of style, right? So figure out what you're going to do with your transportation before you pick the vehicle, right? So for a daily hauler, that's why minivans sell, right? It's not because they're great vehicles. It's because they do a specific function very well that people want done. Same thing for mini cars or small cars. Smart for 2 cars, right? Good for commuting, low gas mileage or high gas mileage, low cost. Pick your platform last, right? So, because the best platform running a bad process with untrained people and no plan is still going to fail. So I do see a lot of business arguing which AI model is best. We've used OpenAI, ChatGPT, we've used Claude. We've tried to use Copilot. The Microsoft did roll out a bunch of new stuff last week at their conference. And we'll probably dive into a little bit more for our clients. But, right now we're Team Claude. So we'll see how long that lasts. I also use Manus on occasion just to keep up with other things, right? So now, because Midsame spun out of managed IT solutions and we are IT and cybersecurity, we're very cybersecurity focused. We want to make sure that the platforms that we're looking at and recommending to our clients are secure. And we lead with that, right? Because again, throwing a tool at something without planning is a recipe for disaster. You could have something leaked out to the public, or not intentionally. You gave it access to a folder that has sensitive client data, or it has sensitive client company data, IP, right? Intellectual property, and it gets absorbed into the zeitgeist. Now, Claude by default and ChatGPT for the paid versions don't use the data to train their model, so they're not using it. But it is there. It is part of the system. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking about what you're doing and how you're using it, and take a security focus approach to this, right? So, if you've got healthcare, legal documents, that type of thing, it's definitely something to think about. So putting all 4 together, process, what problem are we solving? People, who's going to use it, and how are they going to be trained? Because that's important. Plan, what does a success look like? And finally, platform, which technology best supports the goal, right? The plan. Notice AI technology is the 4th step and not the first. Again, right? I'm emphasizing this. The platform should be one of your last decisions, right? It start with the goal in mind and then build out from there. So Microsoft had a big conference the other week, last week, and they were announcing a bunch of initiatives from an AI perspective. They've built OpenClaw into Windows now. I think they're calling it Scout, because whatever. It was a lobster as the image, so I'm gonna go with OpenClaw. They also had several other things. Most of those were more enterprise related. They were doing examples for electricity production and handling. That's definitely higher end stuff. Yesterday, Apple held their Worldwide Developer Conference. So it's the last hurrah for Tim Cook. It was all software and it was all about AI, Apple Intelligence, not artificial intelligence. I know it threw me off too. At any rate, so they're bringing it into your devices, your your watch, your iPhone, your iPad, your MacBook, into Safari, right? Into Siri, right? So that's where Apple Intelligence is landing, and it's meant to be an assistant in the truest sense. Much like most people use AI now, 90% of people use AI this way, probably 95% of people use AI this way. They either use it as a souped up Google to look things up, or they're using it to make better emails, or maybe a little, and sometimes better marketing copy, or or reply to an email type of thing. So definitely more into Apple's where they're going, right? That daily assistant, virtual assistant type of thing, making Siri better, right? So that's all I think I've got for you this week. So if you're thinking about implementing AI in your business, don't start by asking which AI tools I should buy. Start by asking which processes are we looking to improve. Then focus on your people, build a plan, and then choose your platform. If you're wondering how AI can help your business, please reach out to us at Managed IT Solutions, and more importantly, Midzane. I think it's somewhere down here in my name. www.midzane.com. You can also leave off the 3 W's if you want. It works with midzane.com. I want to say thanks for joining me. If you got something out of this, please like and share this video. I have finally remembered to start saying that somewhere in the video, usually at the end. Maybe I should do it at the beginning. Who knows? And I will sneak in one cybersecurity thing. Cybersecurity starts with you. Don't forget it. Talk to you next week. Ciao.